welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a shrimp risotto, so please stay tuned and let me show you how. We are going to begin by first making our very own seafood stock. I use the shrimp shells from the shrimp. Just go ahead and give them a rinse with cold water. Add them, I would say, to about 5 to 6 cups of water. I added 2 garlic cloves, a little bit of thyme, and 1 fresh bay leaf. If you do not have fresh, if you have the dry ones, they will work just as good, you guys. And I added a few peppercorns. That's pretty much all you need. Bring it to a boil, cover it up, and let it simmer for at least 1 hour to really concentrate that flavor. Now for the shrimp, I did wash them, devein them, and make sure they were completely dry, you guys. And then I did season them with paprika, some garlic powder, and then I also used some salt, and I did zest about 2 lemons, and I used that to season my shrimp as well. And let me tell you, that lemon zest as you are cooking the shrimpies is super delicious. So go ahead and heat up a, I would say, medium to large pan, the one that you like to use for your rice, with some extra virgin olive oil, and go ahead and begin cooking your shrimp. I did go ahead and dump them in just because I did previously make sure that they were fully dry. If they are not fully dry, they will steam, you guys. So just make sure that you take that extra step and then arrange them in one layer. That way they can get that beautiful sear. You're gonna see it in just a bit. And you know, you guys already know with shrimp, you only cook it for just a few minutes. You don't want rubbery shrimp, so a few minutes will do, and it really depends on the size of the shrimp that you buy. But I would say usually it's about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And at this point I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot the black pepper, so I added that as well. Now after, I want to say about 2.5 minutes, it was time to flip these babies over, and as you can see, they were beautifully seared and smelling super delicious. Again, that lemon zest will make the difference, so take that extra step. And yeah, once they were done cooking, go ahead and remove them. You might want to cover them lightly because they can continue cooking if you cover them too tightly, trust me. And go ahead, I pureed 1 can of peeled whole tomatoes. You can use tomato paste, you guys, but trust me, that just tastes better. And now to the same pan that you cooked the shrimp in, you want to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and I used about 2 shallots. Those are like the little small purple onion, but if you're going to be using regular onion, I suggest using about half. Just make sure that it is very finely minced, you guys, almost see-through. Cook that until translucent, then we can add your garlic. I used 6 garlic cloves, but if you want to be conservative, you can add 4. But you know, this is the base, so I mean, the more the merrier. So yeah, with the garlic, I say 30 seconds max, you guys, because it is gonna be also cooking with your rice, so you don't want to leave it in that long. I added 1.5 cups of arborio rice, and I would recommend that you get arborio rice. I have tried this with regular white rice, and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So yeah, get that arborio rice, and it is actually extra starchy, especially for this dish. So that's why I recommend, especially with all the work you're going to be doing. I added 1 of the cups of the whole peeled tomatoes that I blended, and 1 cup is enough, you guys. You don't want to overpower the seafood flavor, you know, so 1 cup is just enough, just to give it that freshness and just make your risotto super creamy and super delicious. And you want to go ahead and just stir this until it's pretty much absorbed by your rice. So just keep stirring. You don't want to burn anything. And yeah, once you see that it's, you know, 90% gone, we can go ahead and start adding our seafood stock, which I just kept that on the side on low. You do not want to burn anything Risotto is not something that you can walk away from either. You kind of have to stay there until it's done, you guys. So I just like to get all my station, everything going, and I added in a few ladles of that shrimp stock. I want to say I added about 3 large spoonfuls, and that's pretty much it. I know you might be tempted to add more, but then you're not going to get that creaminess. It's going to cook, but it's not going to be creamy or silky. So just add, be patient. Risotto is a labor of love and patience. True test of patience and arm power because you're basically going to be stirring the entire time. You don't have to stir, like a crazy person, but you do have to continuously keep ladling in your seafood stock and stirring your rice. Now, if you want to skip the seafood stock and use shrimp stock or store-bought seafood stock, be my guest, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's going to taste pretty delicious if you take all the other steps. And yeah, it gets pretty repetitive, but just, like I said, we're just adding stock and stirring. People say this takes about 20 minutes. It is give or take. First of all, how much rice are you making? How high of a heat are you using? And you'll see me adjusting the heat all along the process. And I like to take things slow. Right here, we're definitely not ready. So yeah, it is very time consuming, but like I said, it is super delicious. You're gonna love it, so take your time. It should be doubled in size once you are close to being done. So yeah, we're definitely not there yet. So just keep adding just a tiny little bit of broth. Once you see it is completely gone, or I would say 95% gone, you don't want to burn the rice. So once it is pretty much absorbed by the rice, then you keep adding just a little bit more. And as you can see here, we're pretty close to being done. So I went ahead and I tried just a little bit of the broth, and then I added my salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Always want to use that. And yeah, you guys, I also added just a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of some fresh lemon juice, and that's just because I had it handy and it will give you that freshness. You don't want to add too much because we don't want lemon risotto. And yeah, you guys, that is 8 tablespoons right there of butter. And it is absolutely necessary to use that much butter. It is risotto, you guys. This is not diet food. This is delicious food. So go ahead and add as much as you'd like. I recommend using the full 8 tablespoons. If you want to use a whole stick, be my guest. Extra creaminess. And as you can see, it totally changes how creamy the risotto is. And then I put in some freshly grated parm. You can add any type of cheese that you have handy. Normally, if it's just a regular risotto, I add a lot more cheese. But since we are working with seafood, I did limit myself just a little bit right there with that cheese. And as you can see here, we're done. Now I'm just melting the butter and making sure to just make sure everything's well incorporated and nice and creamy. And yeah, you guys, at this point, you have graduated from the Janet School of Cookery. Congratulations. And at the very end, you can go ahead and add some peas. I didn't have any, so I used the next best thing, which is edamame. Or, maybe it's not even the next best, because actually it tasted super delicious. I think I prefer this to the peas, but peas will work just fine, you guys. Just allow them to heat up and come to temperature as your risotto. And yeah, like I mentioned, we're pretty much done here. And if you guys could smell this, and you are able to, if you're making this dish yourself, I highly recommend, you guys. It smells so delicious. The aromas are just breathtaking. And yeah, we're pretty much done. Go ahead and get your little garnishes ready, and get ready to eat this if you haven't already tried a few bites, as I did. I definitely did. And of course, you guys, you always want to taste as you go along, especially with risotto. You want to make sure that it is not crunchy. If it was crunchy, you didn't add enough broth and you were probably cooking it too fast. But I really hope that doesn't happen to you guys, and I'm pretty sure it won't if you follow the instructions. And yeah, now it's time to add those shrimpies back in. They are ready to join the party. And yeah, don't these look super amazing on top of this risotto? Honestly, once I made it this way, I don't think I could just ever make just risotto by itself, unless I just really don't have any shrimp around. But I just think they were the perfect pair, and like I said, you guys, if you guys try this, you're gonna love it, and you will make it time and time again, and you will get really buff from all that staring. And yeah, you guys, pretty much at this point, we're just decorating this beautiful and delicious risotto. Go ahead and add in all your shrimpies. I saved some additional edamame just to place on top. I always like to add what I put in on top, just to let people know exactly what they're getting, and they're prepared to taste those things. And I added a little bit of fresh parm and a little bit of fresh parsley. Actually, no, that was basil. And yeah, you guys, I really hope you get to try this recipe, and see you guys soon. So we're at the end, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and leave me a nice comment, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.